morning, and I am the Angry Cook. Today we're going to go into a little bit of canning. We're going to do bread and butter pickles. See, I stumbled upon a video the other day, which I thought was interesting because my wife really likes bread and butter pickles. I'm more a dill pickle guy myself, but this is a little different, I think. What you're used to is the disgustingly sweet crap you get at the grocery store. With just tons and tons of sugar in it. This does not contain tons and tons of sugar. It does have sugar in it, of course, but you're not going to be overwhelmed with it. So I think it's going to be pretty good. We'll find out tomorrow and we can taste them. So what do we need? 2 pounds of... What do we need? 2 pounds of pickling cucumbers. It's out of season, so I don't have those. So I picked up mini cucumbers, 2 pounds of those. We need a red pepper for a little bit of color in the jars. We need an onion. I've got 2 carrots left, so I'm going to slice those, julienne those up and put those in too. Should be interesting. We need 3 cups of apple cider vinegar, which is here. Couple of cups of sugar, which is here, a cup of water, 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard seed, 3/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric. This is going to be for color more than anything else. I think my phone's about to fall off the stand. Cut. Hey, I was right. Turmeric. Alright, let's reinforce that. Alright, as I was saying before my camera almost fell off, I think it was the turmeric. The turmeric is for flavoring, of course, but it's also for color, to get that yellowish color that you see with bread and butter pickles. And yellow mustard seed, of course. We have half a teaspoon of celery seed and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove. And that is going to be it. Now, some of the hardware we need a little more hardware than usual because we're going to can these. Not difficult. I picked all my jars up at a thrift store for between 10 and 50 cents each. Most of them had rings on them. So we need 4 pint jars. This I picked up a long time ago. It's nothing but a stock pot, a small stock pot, which will fit all 4 jars in. The rack, because you don't want to leave your jars sitting on the bottom of the pot, because they'll crack. They might crack or bag into each other. This is from my Instant Pot, and as I said, the rings came with most of them. We're going to use a mandolin to slice the cucumbers. You can do it by hand. Mandolin's easier as far as I'm concerned. New sealing lids. 12 regular lids. They're not ball, they're compatible, for $1.97 at Walbo. And I didn't have these either. It's a ball canning kit. It's this fits in the mouth of your jar, lets you fill up easily. This is a tamper, so you can tamp the crap down. And this is a jar to lift your jars out in boiling hot water, like that, and set them down. You can say, oh well, I can use tongs, but these are going to be full of water first of all, and then full of contents after that. I don't know how you're going to get them out once they have stuff in them. So this was $8.97, also at Walbo. We need some measuring cups, measuring spoons. We need a colander and something to hold the colander. You'll see why in a couple of minutes. And I think that's basically it. I think I've covered everything that's on the table. So we're going to get started in just a second to clear out a little bit and get back to working mode, and we'll be back in just a second. Okay, cleaned up a little bit. We washed our carrots, of course. We're going to top and tail it. Now we're going to julienne these boys in the matchstick type, along with the pepper. So, okay, matchstick. We're going to throw our carrots in our strainer. We're going to go to our pepper. One of the things I have seen that I like is basically siding the pepper to get the meat off, and that leaves the seeds and veins intact. So you just take the 4 sides. You get really minimal seeds and veins with this. If you see anything you really want to keep and you want to add to it, just go ahead and just lop it off a little bit. But that's about it for that. I think I've got about half a dozen seeds in this. So we'll get rid of those. A little bit of vein too. The veins are kind of bitter, so it doesn't hurt to take them out. It doesn't hurt to leave them in either, I suppose. But especially the really soft white stuff. They come right out with your fingers. Another seed, 2 more seeds. It's really an efficient way to slice a pepper. I like it a lot. We're going to... my camera just stopped for a minute, my phone, and gave me an error message which I couldn't read. So I just restarted. We're going to slice thinly our onion, and we'll be back. And I'll show you that in a minute. All right, sliced our onion thinly. If I can pick these things up without slice thinly. And same thing, we're going to throw them in our strainer. And that's everything but the cucumbers, which we're going to do next. We've set our mandolin at 1/4 inch. It seems to be the optimal. I must have looked at 20 recipes and watched 20 different ways of doing this. And 1/4 inch seems to be the number. So we're going to do that. We're going to start by topping and tailing all our cukes. Probably do these 2 at a time. You don't want to take off too much because you want pickles. So be conservative a little bit. And we'll be back when we're ready to mandolin, and we'll show you. Okay, we had a little storage issue. We took care of that. 12 main cucumbers, which have been washed and topped and tailed. We are now going to do them on a mandolin. I'm going to do one real quick. I mean, like you really need to see that, but watch your fingers. I'm going to be ordering a glove guard so I can do this a little more safely. This terrifies the shit out of me, really, because this is blazing ass sharp. So be careful, okay? If you use a mandolin, use a knife, be careful. I can't cut anything straight or even or the same size. It's just something that eludes me. When I cut wood or anything to make something, I've got to measure 100 times and cut once, and usually I have to do it again anyway. That's how bad I am at cutting, which is why I love the mandolin. Now, perfectly uniform 1/4 inch size. So we'll be back again in a couple of minutes. I'm going to do the other 11 and show you the results. Okay, 12 cukes with interruptions and everything else. I think it took me 3 or 4 minutes. You all know what I'm cooking. The Mooch Monster is always here. And she's very strange because she doesn't like normal things like blueberries. She doesn't like blueberries unless there's another dog eating a blueberry. Then, of course, she has to have it. But I figured I'd just give her a cucumber and slice to see what she thinks. And, of course, she ate it. You see little ears right there. And she seems to like cucumber slices. I just don't understand it. There's another one. All right, that's all 12. I think there were 2 pounds total, so I think between top and tail And Jade getting a couple. I think we're probably down to 1 pound, 15.9 ounces. Now, we need to add our 2 tablespoons of salt to this whole mixture. This is kosher salt, of course. You could use pickling salt, you could use sea salt. Don't use iodized salt, table salt, stuff like that, please. You know better. By now, you should anyway. Mix this well. You want to get the salt all over the place. The principle of this thing is we're going to be pulling more water out of this to keep our veggies crisp. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. We want to put this in the fridge, or what some people have been doing that I've seen on the videos is they put a layer of ice about halfway through, and then they put another layer of ice on top and let it sit out. That to me rinses the salt off, and we want the salt in this because it's part of our mixture. Most people add salt, rinse the salt, and add salt, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but who am I? So get this all mixed up well, and then we're going to refrigerate for 3 hours. And we're going to come back at the end after 3 hours and see the result. And I bet you you're going to be surprised. No, you won't be surprised. You know what's going to happen. It's going to draw water out. That's what it's supposed to do, and that's what it's going to do. So we'll be back in 3 hours. See you in a bit. Okay, we're about an hour into the vegetable soaking situation. We're going to do the first stage of sanitizing of our jars. What we're going to do is we're going to fill this up above, about an inch above or so, the jars, and then we're going to bring this to a simmer, and then we're going to turn the heat off and cover it and let it sit for at least half an hour. Don't forget to fill the jars up first. Okay, we'll bring it back in a little bit. That's our next step. We're going to be putting this on the stove. In about an hour, we're going to start our brine. Maybe half an hour, because that doesn't have to run that long. I got to look over my my instructions again. So we'll bring it back in a little bit and show you what's going on. One of the great advantages of filming on your phone is you can see what I'm doing. Well, I can see what I'm doing, so I can see the final product. Which, with my camera, I got to go behind to look. With the GoPro, I got to have something else running, and it doesn't work on the iPad, but it works on, anyway, it's a mess. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to be making our brine. So, we're going to get the glasses out of the way. 2 cups of sugar. And yes, I measured in a dry cup and put it in this because I only have 1 cup and not, never mind. We're going to add 3 cups of apple cider vinegar. Glub, glub. Cup of sugar. Oh, here, not a cup of sugar. A cup of water. Does that look like sugar to you? Man, brain's a horrible thing to waste, huh? We're going to be putting in our tablespoon of mustard seeds. Our 3/4 teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of celery seed, and 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. You didn't think I was going to remember, did you? Ah! We're going to put this on the stove, bring it to a simmer, cover it, and take it off the heat. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to put it back here. I think I've already said this. Our jars are done, and they're waiting. I've got right there, I've got a clean towel, which we're going to put our jars on upside down in a minute. Bring them over here. Our veggies are about half an hour away from taking out and getting ready to stuff into the jars. So we're probably 45 minutes away from being done. So we'll see you in a little bit. All right, here we are 3 hours later. And here's our veggies. And just so you see, there's a significant amount of water in there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dry our veggies. Why are we drying and we're going to put them back in brine? I just don't know. Because that's the way it says. By the way, I don't know if yeah, I did say that. Never mind. Never mind. We're just going to go through and dry these a little bit as best we can. That's going to help with the crispiness in the jar. That's actually why we're doing it. I don't quite understand why it works, but it does. It says it's like why you dry your meat before you your meat and chicken before you put it in on the grill or in a saute pan, because it sautés better. You get a better crust. So here we are. All right, that's good enough, I think. All right. The next step is going to be filling our jars. You notice I took the jars out, put them upside down in a clean cloth. I also had the rings in the boiling water or the simmering water, because they basically have only been washed. They've never been really actually sanitized. So I'm going to turn the jar over, take our cool little gimmick here, which came in our kit with the tweezer, the handle and the crusher downer, and we're going to start putting veggies in. Now, whoa. Now, don't be afraid to push down a little bit on these guys. Getting the jar out. We're going to move our gimmick here. And we're going to push down our cukes and things. There we go. Let's switch jars. Or switch positions, I guess. A little salty, but not as much as I thought it would be. The other way is a cold pack, and I've seen, in the recipes I watched, I've seen them both done, where you're taking this mixture and you're adding it to the brine, the hot brine in the pan while it's cooking, and cook it for a few minutes, and then put them in jars. I think that whenever you cook veggies, you lose some of the crunch. So I prefer to do it this way. But your choices, guys. It's your food. All right. We're going to take our brine. See the nice, I don't know if you can even see that, nice yellowy color. You'll see it in the containers as I put it in. You want to put this in within ½ an inch of the top. All right. I think we're good. Take our new lids. I've got a friend that cans quite often, and she doesn't use new lids, and she says you don't need to. That's not what I've been told, But I don't have any experience in this, and she has lots of experience in this, so I defer to her judgment. Since this is my first time, I want to do it the right way first. We're going to wipe the rim off. We're going to add a ring. Now we are going to sanitize these next, so I'm not really worried about sanitizing. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Now, the next step is to put the ring on. Put the ring on, finger tight. That's it. Don't cinch down on it like a crazy person. That's it. We're done. Now, we place this. Oh my God! I've been keeping track of the water over here. You need to place this in a water bath. Previous, what we've already done. This water is 126. You want it between 120 and 140 degrees when you put the jars in again. I think I'm going to use my little hand because 126 is still warm. We're going to heat this for half an hour at 185 degrees. Now I'm using my oh, I don't like this. We poured the the contents of the water that was in the jars. We poured that into there. That's why it's overflowing. It had me amazed as to why did it overflow down? It's physics, man. It ain't that big a deal. So we're going to take this down a little bit. Because we have one more jar to put in there. Remove 3.5 cups of water. Let's see what this brings it to. Holy crap. And we have some escape fruit. Cool. Escape veggies, not fruit. 4 cups. Don't use this as a gauge. Use your eyes as a gauge. Not me. Okay. We're going to put this back on the burner. We'll start at medium. First time for me, so I'm taking a guess. Okay? If you're an experienced canner, you know how to do this. I'm not. It's not too warm. It's 121. We're going to watch the temperature. And try to keep it around 185 or so for half an hour. Okay, it's the next day, and here we are. I'm going to have my wife check these because she likes these. I even like these, and I don't like these. So they're very good. We have, as you can see, we have onions, and we have red pepper. We have carrots. We have mustard seed. We have the whole 10 yards. Looks really cool, doesn't it? All right, give it a shot.
Okay, ready? Oh my God. It's really good added with the pepper. Just gives it another. Oh my god. They're going to be better even as they sit longer.
Yep.
Okay. Ciao.
Okay, so join us next time on The Angry Cook.